Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we're going to make a necklace using products from the Bargain Bead Box September 2022 edition. First of all, our encouraging word for today is once you choose hope, anything's possible. I like that one a lot. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be using some patina on this copper piece. So you're going to need a copper piece. You're going to need something to put it on to keep your workspace from being a mess. I'm going to be using some of these little copper spacers, these 3 ceramic beads, these 2 matte rose quartz beads, and some of these saucer beads. And then I've got some of the smaller 6mm rose quartz. Not sure what all I'm going to use out of that. Some of the bead caps. I have a 12mm jump ring and a lobster clasp. I have one of these. This is the only one I have left, so we're going to use it. I have a little cup for mixing my patina, and this patina is vintage petalite. We're going to mix that in there with a little bit of UV resin. This is my UV resin. It's a hard type. I just got it off of Amazon, and I've never actually used this specific one, so we'll see how it works. I have a length of 2mm leather here. Now this leather, I'm going to measure it. And this is totally personal preference, how long you want yours to be. But mine is 12, let's see, about 18 inches doubled over. So 18 inches per side. Okay, so it's a pretty long piece of leather there. I have some this is 0.5mm leather actually, and we're going to be making some tassels. We're going to be cutting this. I have got some 22 gauge, just parawire. This is, we're going to do a little wrap on our leather to connect it. And then I have this little UV lamp. This is actually one for nails, but I like it because it's portable and I can bring it over here on my desk. So we're going to be using that. I have a paintbrush and a paper towel here. And I think that's all you're going to need if you want to make this. So get your stuff together. I'm going to move the beads back out of the way because we're not going to be using them for just a minute. All of this right here. And we're going to work with this little piece right here first. So I'm going to take a little bit of this patina. I've already shaken it up pretty good. I'm just going to do about 3 or 4 drops in there. And then I'm just going to mix it with a tad bit of this UV resin. And the reason that I'm using the UV resin is I want it to have a little more of an enameled look to it. And this will help it to adhere to the piece. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to kind of paint it on lightly. I don't want it to be super dark. And because I've got UV lights here on my desk, it's probably going to start to cure this resin before I actually want to put it in the thing. So I'm just going to paint this on lightly. Okay, set that aside. I'm going to take my paper towel and kind of dab it like this. Pick this up. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little light and I'm just going to set it under here and I'm going to let it cure for a second, for a couple seconds. So there it is. Sorry, my chair is very squeaky. And we're just going to set that under there and let it cure. It's just going to give that copper piece something, a little bit of pizzazz, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at it. See how it just gives it a faint little pink sheen, and I just kind of like it. Now, something you could do is take some of this and kind of go along these little crevices and darken some of them. I kind of like to do that sometimes. Just go in here and darken some of the little crevices. Just like this. Okay. And that'll just give it a little bit more of the pinky touch. So let's do that. Set that aside again. Go ahead and put this under your light. We're just going to cure it. Now, meantime, I want to cut some pieces of this leather, and I'm going to use this through the little filigree pieces, so it's going to be doubled over and kind of hang like this. I don't want it to be super long, but I don't want it to be, you know, I want them to kind of be different lengths. So I'm going to cut some a little longer than others. I'm just going to double it over here. And again, this is totally up to your own creative control. You do it however you like it. But I will be tying knots in some of them, so you want to keep that in mind as you're cutting these, that you want enough room to tie the knots. You flip that back on so it has another minute or so. There we go. And I'm just going to cut these different lengths, and I don't need a whole bunch of them either. I'm just going to do 3 or 4, probably. So there's 3, because see, when you double it over, then you're going to have 6. So I may leave it at that, and we'll see if we want more after that here in just a minute. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It's cured up pretty good. Take my napkin and kind of rub it, see if anything comes off. There. Okay, and I like that. It's kind of a little enameled look. So we're going to set that aside. Now, I'm going to take my leather here, and I'm going to cut this in half. So I'm just doubling over. I had 18 inches per side. And I'm just going to cut it right in half. And I'm going to find these 2 little holes. There's one here and one here. I'm going to put the leather through here. Actually, I'm going to go from the front to the back. Double it over just a tiny bit, and we're going to take a little wire and we're going to do some wrapping. Now, I want to keep this neat and tidy today and not have it. A lot of times I like the boho look and I don't keep it neat and tidy, but today I'm in the neat and tidy mood. So I'm just going to take this, grab my pliers here, and I'm just going to coil it around and get it started. Around my little piece of leather. And all this is going to do is hold the leather on without using like a connector or a clasp or anything like that. It's just a way to adhere the leather to this piece. And I'm just trying to lay this little one down. It can be a little fiddly until you get going. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm just going to wrap neatly in a coil, or as neat as I can anyway. It's kind of hard sometimes to get a hold on it. And you may have to go back over a little bit where you've already been, and that's okay. I'm just kind of coiling around slowly. And I'm just going to make a nice tight, you want to make sure it's a tight coil so your leather does not come out. Okay, and I'm just going all the way up here to the end. And there we have a nice tight little coil, and I'm going to trim that off. I don't really want that sticking out. A little piece right there, okay? And I'm going to come around here with my wire, and I'm going to trim it. And I'm just going to take my plier and lay it down so that it doesn't snag anything, okay? So there's the one, and we're going to do the same thing right through this one right here. But I'm going front to back just like I did on that one. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. Like I said, it can be a little difficult to get started, but once you get it going, it's not too bad. Just laying down this little piece right here. I got this leather from Antique Cord on Etsy. They have some really pretty colors in leather. Seems to be very good quality. Now, I'm going to try to scoot that down. It looks like it's moving up a little, and I don't really want it to do that. Okay. Yes, it is. And like I said, it's really a little fiddly until you get it going. You really just have to get it started and then try to keep a tight wrap on it. And this one is being way more difficult than the other one was being. Let me see if I can lay this down right here a little bit. There we go, that might help. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to go up in a fairly neat wrap. I may have a little hard time getting this wrap as neat as the other one because it's been kind of difficult. There we go. Now you can take your pliers and you can kind of run this together like that. And I'm going to go on up even though my wires are, or my leather is just single right here. I don't have it doubled up here because I want this to be about the same size as the other one. And then I'm going to go back down a little bit just because the other one is a little bit fatter and I want this one to match it. Okay. And it may not be, whoops, may not be quite as neat as that one, but that's okay. And I just scooted all my beads off. Okay, grab those back. All right, so I'm just going to trim this off right here. Lay it down. And there we have our two little wraps. Okay. Now, to go ahead and put our ends on to finish it, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go right through here with my leather through my lobster clasp. Okay, just right through here, just like that, just like we've been doing on the other one. Okay, I'll scoot it down. Use your pliers to pinch that together if you need to, and close this up. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap. And you just have to be patient with the wire wrapping. It is not easy sometimes. But I think I've got it on there good enough now to where I can get it right up this little coil. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to cut it. Lay that little piece down right there. Okay, and the other side we're just going to put right onto our ring. Just like this. Okay. Same exact thing. Okay. So today is the 26th of September. And Hurricane Ian is heading our way, apparently. I've never been in a hurricane before. And so our back lanai floods pretty badly when it rains. So we did get some sandbags we want to put back there to keep the water, if we get dumped on, the water from coming in our sliding glass doors to our living room. But nobody else around here seems to be doing anything to prepare for this hurricane. Like, nobody has taken anything in off their porches. Everybody's still got all their Halloween decorations out. I mean, it's like nobody cares. Nobody's concerned. So, I don't know. This will be our first experience with a hurricane. But I figured people would be doing more to get ready. Alright, so we're just going to wrap this around. And we'll just cut it off, just like we've been doing. Alright. Now we've got our clasp on. That's really good. Just like that. And we have our necklace ready to do our tassels. Okay. So we're going to take these little pieces that we've cut from the smaller leather, and I'm just going to take and go through, so I'm doubling it up, making sure the ends are even. And let's see, I want to do it this way, I think. I'm just going to take it through here, take the ends through this piece, through the loop, and pull tight. Okay, and there's one little tassel. I'm going to do the same thing for all of them. I'm going to go from front to back. I just like the way that looks a little bit better. Just like that. Okay, so there's two. I'm going to do another one here in the middle. right through that part right there if I can get it. Okay. So there are a few little tassels. I do feel like it needs maybe a little bit more. Let's put these two out there. We'll go ahead and put some beads on and then we'll judge it. Okay, so this guy right here, he's the only one that I have, and I want him to go kind of in the middle. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put him on. Oh, will he not fit through this? Yeah, these beads sometimes are difficult. Let me see if my beading awl will help. It may not. He may not fit onto this leather. See if I can widen that hole a little bit with the beading awl enough to get the leather through. Okay, well maybe. If I can get it out the other side though is the question. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to scoot him up here and I'm going to tie a knot. Not all the way up at the top. I want him to dangle just a little, but pretty far up. Okay, and there that is. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the bead caps on this big ceramic bead. Whoops, not that way. So we'll go in through the top, put the big ceramic bead on, and the bead cap on the bottom, and let this scoot down just a little so it hangs a little bit below the metal bead there, and just tie a knot. I just love these tassels. I think they're so romantic looking. They're just so pretty. Now you could tie a knot up here if you wanted, but when you have this on, it's gonna hang and that bead cap is not gonna float up. So it doesn't really need it, I don't feel like. And let's see, I've got 2 more of these ceramic beads. So let's do one over here. And I might let it dangle down a little bit longer. Let me look here. I do want one hanging down that far, so yeah, let me go ahead and tie a knot in the bottom. If you need 2, you can use your pliers to pull this through. Just be careful because the leather can break. You don't want to stretch it too hard. Okay, and then I'm going to do that other ceramic bead probably right in here. I wanted them to kind of hang in the middle, the 3 ceramic beads. So I'm going to go in through here, put this one on, and right here, and I definitely want it up from the other one, so probably going to try to tie the knot right about here. There we go. Okay, those look pretty good. Now we're going to tie some stuff on the outsides here. So I've got this matte bead. I kind of want to put him, let's see, he's on the outside edge down here. And so I may do a little spacer bead. And then this matte bead. And you just want to kind of make it to where things are hanging a little bit uneven. So I think I'm going to do a saucer bead up here on the top first. And another one of these. I'm going to put them up pretty far and tie a knot. Okay, scooting them up kind of far here. Yeah, right about like that. And then I'm going to do this matte bead down here by itself. You could also use crimp beads on this leather if you wanted to just crimp these things in place, but I like the look of the knots. I think they're cute. Lends to the boho feel of the whole thing. I think I'm actually going to put a saucer bead under here. Yeah, it lends to the boho feel of everything. I just like it. So I just prefer the knots on this type. Now if I'm doing like a Coriana chain tassel or something like that, then absolutely I prefer the crimps. Okay, there we go, so cute. All right, let's do something down here. Maybe this guy and then a little spacer. And tie a knot, if we can get it, very close to the bottom. So yeah, nobody seems to be preparing anything for this hurricane, and I was telling Logan earlier, it's kind of funny, everybody's still got all their Halloween decorations out, like there's witches and ghosts, and I said if this hurricane does hit, there's going to be like all these Halloween decorations flying everywhere, and I'm going to go outside and video it. It'll be like a Wizard of Oz Halloween version. They'll just be everywhere. I mean, there's tons of stuff out, and nobody's taking anything in, it doesn't look like. I don't know. Maybe they all will, like at the last minute. They all run out and do it or something, but I've been kind of amazed that nobody seems to care. Interesting. Like I said, this is my first hurricane, so I've been in a tornado and I've been in an earthquake, but I have never been in a hurricane. So we're kind of a little bit nervous, but I don't know, not too bad. More curious, I think, than nervous. All right, let's do this guy. Let's do this guy. Don't have any more bead caps. I don't need one. We'll do him and the little saucer. But I can tell you one thing. I definitely don't want anyone to get hurt, and I don't want anyone to have any damage or anything like that. But I will be heading over to Honeymoon Island on the West Coast the day after this thing blows through. I am going to go see what the shells are like. I can't go to Sanibel because it's like 4 hours from here. That has to be like a whole, you know, spend the night kind of trip. But I can definitely drive over to Honeymoon and see what things are like over there, and I fully intend to. So, because everybody talks about the shelling after a hurricane, how wonderful it is. So I want to see. I want to see for myself. I'm just putting beads on here randomly and tying little knots. Just trying to stagger them a little so, you know, some are down further than others. And I like to put something on the ends of most every tassel because it weighs it down. If you don't, then you have them flying off at all weird angles and stuff. And see what I mean? It kind of weighs it down if you do. So I need something on here. And I need something on here. And it doesn't have to be anything big. I might just do like this one little rose quartz bead on here. And tie it off. And it will just kind of weigh this one down so it's not poking out weird. I'm just going to grab it with my plier and pull it through here. Pliers really help with the knots. With the leather sometimes, because it can be a little stiff and pokery, just like this one was. It didn't want to go. And then Chris has got a business trip coming up soon down to, he's got to go down to, oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it now. I think it's, oh gosh. I can't think of the name of it. I'll have to figure it out. But anyway, it's down down south on the Atlantic coast. And I'm going to go with him and go to the beach down there, because it'll be a chance to go to one of the very southern, it's a very southern Atlantic beach. Might be Vero Beach. I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. I'll have to look, but yeah, I'm excited for that too. So, all right, here we go. So, there we have it. Now, I'm not liking the pink patina as much because it's kind of dark on here. So I think I'm just going to kind of scrape some of it off. I may take a little sanding paper. Hold on. Okay, so I like a little bit of it. I just don't want quite that much. So I'm just going to sand it, a little bit of it off here. Just a little. There we go. Make it not quite so bright pink. Because with the, there we go. With the beads, it was looking a little too bright. I like that better. Okay. Now, I think that we're finished. So tell me what y'all think. We don't need too many more beads on it. I don't think I need any more tassels. I think the tassels are good. It's going to be nice and long. And yeah, I really like it. I think it's super cute. If I had any more of the round pieces, I would do a pair of earrings, but I do not. So we're just going to keep it right like this. And I like it really well. I love tassels though. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I am going to get off here and try to film a couple more videos in case our power does go out, so I have some videos uploaded. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will have links down in the description box below. If you would like to subscribe to the Bargain Bead Box, you can. And it's a great box. I love it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.